My constituents who are serving in the armed forces, Mr. Chairman, alerted me this past Friday to book bans by the government at their kids' Department of Defense school, where they're closing the library for a week to complete a purge of books that appear to offend the new government orthodoxy against DEI and gender ideology. That's fine if you hate those ideologies, whatever you think they are, but this is naked content and viewpoint censorship of books. I hope you would join me in denouncing the purge of books, the stripping of books from the Department of Defense libraries or any other public libraries in America or for American citizens. When this father saw a school official removing not just books, but posters of Susan B. Anthony and Dr. King, my constituent asked why they left up the poster of Leonardo da Vinci, and he was told that's a real historical figure. More sweepingly, Trump and his FCC are using their powers to investigate, sue, and threaten news groups that dare to criticize the administration. Trump is suing CBS for $20 billion in damages because, check this out, he believes an interview with Kamala Harris produced too favorable an impression of her. So that means that I could sue Fox News because I think their interviews with Trump produce too favorable an impression of him. I mean, this is lunacy. And now, exploiting his asserted unitary executive powers, Trump is unleashing his sycophant FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, on every news group whose stories he doesn't approve of, actually threatening to pull the government broadcast licenses for ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, and NPR. Nothing of a hostile nature, of course, has taken place against Fox News, which is now the de facto state-approved media, enjoys immunity from the repression visited on its liberal competitors. What is this, North Korea? It reminds me of the treatment of Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former private lawyer, who worked for Trump for more than a decade and became deputy finance chairman of the RNC. He went to jail for Donald Trump for, among other things, lying to Congress and making unlawful corporate contributions in the Stormy Daniels cover-up affair. When Cohen was released from prison during COVID to home arrest and probation with an ankle bracelet, he was abruptly rearrested and taken back to prison when he refused to sign a statement saying he would not speak to the media or publish a book about Donald Trump. Everybody's got to hear this. He was thrown into solitary confinement where he remained until a United States District Court judge found this to be a clear First Amendment violation and an outrage and freed him immediately. What is this? Castro's Cuba? Putin's Russia? The free speech violations taking place now against Department of Justice prosecutors and FBI agents are equally astounding. The First Amendment forbids reprisal and punishment against professional government employees for political reasons. Yet Trump has fired and demoted dozens of federal prosecutors, many of whom he had appointed during his first administration simply for doing their jobs, including prosecuting January 6 violators. Trump's subordinates also asked for a roundup of information about more than 6,000 hardworking FBI agents who were assigned to work the January 6 probe, a dangerous, blatantly unconstitutional order which was enjoined by a U.S. District Court in a case brought by the Association of FBI Agents. The administration is attempting to do its work. I'm about to finish up, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
I see a lot of pages there. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I'm going to speak fast like you. Watch me do it, all right? Look, this is happening in secret. They're keeping the press, the Congress, and people in the dark. I know you feel strongly about government transparency, as you do about free speech. The administration's illegally fired 17 inspectors general, totally violating the statute which says they've got to come to Congress first 30 days before they fire them and set forth the specific explanation for why that's happening. Now, finally, you and I are both fierce advocates for the First Amendment and government transparency. Both of us see in the First Amendment a right that protects everybody without regard to viewpoint, substance, or politics of the message. And if we stand up strong for the First Amendment, if we defend not just the speech we agree with, which is easy, but the speech we oppose, which is hard, then we will be constitutional patriots and we will protect a truly free society. When we together introduced our Free Flow of Information Act, you said all rights protected in the First Amendment need to be defended. We had real success. Let's work together again to end the attacks on news organizations, to demand transparency from